Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate all of you during these interesting times, to say the least. I just looked at my calendar. It's October. Where did this year go from March? I'm shocked. Unbelievable, but Chip can't make it. He's delayed on his business out there. People love the green grass, and he helps make those yards green. So he's doing a great job. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. I got Smoking Jim Frazier here. We were just having a little off-the-record conversations, and he just did mention one thing I'll share because he tells all of you. I am an honest man, he said again. So I don't know what stories he's going to tell tonight, folks, but it'll be something else. I do have some things to first tell you. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between, from the city of Pittsburgh all around. Just let us know if you can watch it, because people all the time see me in different areas. I go, where do you live? They tell me almost every area in the city and outlying areas. A couple years ago, I was at Nemacolin. They said, we know who you are. You're Al Levine, the talking machine. We're out at Nemacolin Golf Course, and the two chefs, they knew me. So I go, what do? You watch my show? They go, yeah, we love it. And they go, what's the story with Smoking Jim? They go, he's a funny man. I go, he's only telling the truth as he sees it. So we had a great time, so I appreciate that. Thanks for all the likes on Facebook. I think we're at 71, so we appreciate that. Keep watching I know I haven't put up a whole lot of stuff out there. I did put up a notice about the Steelers. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I got some promos for you. And we got Anthony in the control room. Caitlin's on the camera. And that's a K on the C. So we'll see what we got. Olive Oil's Pizzeria used to give us a pizza. We still honor them because they wanted to sponsor our show. We can't eat in here due to COVID. We don't want to spread any germs around because we're trying to stay healthy. And it's 412-831-1900, Hillcrest Shopping Center, right on 88. Give them a call. Tell them Al Levine, the talking machine, loves your Italian food, pizza, and even your Italian ice when it's available in the summer. So check them out. Next up, we have Bethel Park Historical Society. That's Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. I was just there last week when the state rep on here, Natalie Mahalik, was a guest on our show with a bill that was supposed to get passed today. They delayed it in the Senate of the House. So that's for the living donor bill that would help people like my son get a fair shake on insurance and get qualified for insurance, since they're actually healthier than the average person. To be a donor, they have to be in good health. And even though they have one kidney, they're doing great, just like my son. So that bill was at the Bethel Park Historical Society. They gave a check for $170,000 to the Historical Society. What a great thing that was to get that from the state. So there's good things happening there. Next up, we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. Look at that camera work there. This is the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Poor Joey died at 9 years old with a dreaded brain cancer called DIPG. It's a death sentence. Within a year, they're dead. And whenever they get the diagnosis, it's terrible. The Fabus family is very sad. That's the second child they lost. And instead of them sulking, they went out and started the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation You can donate as little as $1, whatever you can afford. They've raised over $100,000 for 6 years doing special events and their 5K 1-mile superhero race at the high school, which they didn't do this year because of COVID. So just think about helping them out because it's such a tragedy and these kids get this every year and it's a very bad thing. So Joey Thabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Next up, I'm going to test Caitlin's ability here. We'll see what she comes up with. I'm trying to hold it steady. How am I doing? That's the best I can do. Caitlin, that's perfect. Harvest on the Hill. It's at the Carnegie Free Library Music Hall in Carnegie, PA. I was just there for a Jessica Lee show. We're doing a by request show. Jessica Lee and I co-produce and co-host the show. We've been doing it weekly. You can tell her shows or songs that inspire you, and they'll be on her show. She'll perform it either live or get a copy of it from somewhere, and we put it on our show. But this is a fall crafts and family fun on the Library Hill, October 17th, 2 to 3 p.m. or 3 to 4 p.m. You register, call 412-276-3456. You go to the internet, carnegie.org, and you can register to call to do that. It's a great event. We were just there last Saturday. About 50 people outside for the musical performance, and there was practicing social distancing. So check that out. Next up, excellent. Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you, $100 to $5,000 for your group in Bethel Park that's doing great things. If you need money for your group to keep spreading the good word about Bethel Park, go to www.bpcf.org, get an application. We meet every couple months, see when our next meeting is. We just had one recently, and we can vote on it. I'm a trustee on the board of this great group. We just crossed $1 million in 25 years to local community groups and organizations in Bethel Park. So $1 million has been given out. Just a great organization, great people helping out other Bethel Park people. Next up, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at the talking machine expense. There's my face on, yes, Uncle Sam. Tell them Uncle Al sent you. You can be like Caitlin. You can be like Anthony in there. He's now a volunteer. Caitlin, I think, is still an intern, so she's helping out. Just give a call, 412-831-3304. Tell Dave Cable, Al Levine, the talking machine, said you can help us out in the studios, on location, and learn all about this. Maybe it'll help you in a career. We even have a scholarship fund, and there's money for you too if you're going to school. So check that out. Next up, we got we got this Vet's Breakfast. That's it on October 30th. They'll have a Vet's Breakfast. You call up, get a breakfast, and it's at 9 a.m. Peterswood Park, Pavilion 1 and 2, not far away from here. So check out Peterswood Park if you're a vet. My son and I, since he's a vet from the Navy, we'll be going there, so maybe I'll see you out there. Check it out. It's from Natalie Mihalik's office. They're doing a lot of great things in the community. All right, let's see what else I got. Oh, look at all this stuff. Next up, I know, here's my other test. I only do this with people that have the skills to do this. Wait till you see what she does on this. I'm trying not to shake that much, but how am I doing out there? That's 6103 Route 88, Finleyville, 724-348-4715. Skeets Service Station, run by our friend Skeets Lewandowski, who does a lot of boxing and great things in the community. Red, white, and blue station. He works on anything and everything that runs on gas. Cars, trucks, tractors, boats, weed whackers, you name it, hedge trimmers, anything runs on gas. And then they just branched out this past year. They work on electronic things like hedge trimmers, weed whackers, you name it, even electric mowers. So check that out. Give him a call again, 724-348-4715. He sponsors What's on Your Mind. And guess what we're going to do now? What's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
coming at you.
You got to see Levine. Hey, did Skeets get married?
Why?
I thought I seen something on Facebook. He got married.
He's been married.
That's what I thought. He'd been married, but maybe he renewed his vows.
Well, some people do that, like Chip and Stephanie.
He renewed them in jeans, but it don't matter when you're renewing your vows, right?
No, if you're in love.
I tell you what, I was at the casino recently.
What happened?
I had to meet this beautiful model coming in from Somerset named
What was
London.
her name?
London, you know her?
Yes.
And I ended up introducing Rick to her, you know. And
she's a beautiful young black lady.
Well, she's half Blackfoot Indian. She got the high cheekbones, and boy, she got the black booty.
Guess where I met her?
Where?
At a fashion show at Hollywood Lanes.
Really?
Yeah, I went there. You were invited, and like you're a mama's boy, you didn't go out that night.
Wow.
And I got pictures. World. You were so jealous of the pictures.
Yeah.
Because Frank Fabus said, pardon me, it's a family show, but he goes, talking machine, I'm going to make you look like a 70s porn star. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, any pretty girl you want, we're going to make Smoking Jim jealous. I had 17 pictures with beautiful women.
I seen that.
I remember.
And I almost came that night.
Yes. Again, I told you, he's an honest man.
But
go ahead, carry on.
While I was killing some time.
Why were you meeting her?
Well, we had business to talk, and we wanted to get a bite to eat. But while I was killing time waiting on her, I friended Anthony and tried to friend Special K, but she don't do nothing on Facebook. So
she told you that up front.
I seen her profile out there. I tried to send her a friend request, but I looked. There wasn't hardly no updates in a while. I said,
well, I got my new Facebook friend, Anthony.
Yeah. I'm
friends with him, and I saw you beat me to it.
I beat you to it?
Because I'm letting you get the 5,000 before I get there. I'm only, because he has to brag about being number one. He sort of reminds me who's in charge of the country. They always got to be the best and the greatest. Well, I was up over 1,000 past them, and the last year I got to like 4,400 and I slowed down. I'm at 4,678 friends. So I let him get up to 4,900 so he can brag about it. Because he needs that to show how strong he is.
Well, I tell you what, you know, I helped get past you. You know, that 1,000 was mostly your friends. Tell him thanks.
let me share this with you guys since he's on the subject and we got extra time to kill. He's my best friend, all right? And I talked to my other best friend, Jamie, last night. She said, hi, I love Smoking Jim. She just got a new house, so she's doing well.
I love her too.
So you don't know this, but me and you have 1,314 common friends.
That's amazing.
That's how many common friends we have.
That may be a record.
I don't know. Well, for us it is. It's our own personal record.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who got that many mutual friends.
I understand. Usually the friends that Smoking Jim has, I look at them, no workplace, no business, no nothing, no age, and one mutual friend, Smoking Jim Frazier. And I don't friend them because I think they're up to no good.
Well, what about you put me on that one business account? I don't even know how to get into that. LinkedIn, yeah.
We'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
I tried to help his profile out because somebody was trying to help him, but they got busy. And Smoking Jim has 150,000 emails that he doesn't check. But we cover social media, just like he got on Instagram, and he puts up 10 pictures today of all sweeties. I mean, he's unbelievable. So I got on Instagram a few years ago because I told my daughter I'm going to get on it. She goes, whatever you do, Dad, you take a lot of pictures. Don't post them all on Instagram like Smoking Jim Frazier. I go, I don't. So I've been on there probably 4 years, and I think I have 26 photos that I posted.
I seen you liked a lot of stuff I had out there.
I do all the time when people can't talk to you. Because if they put things on Facebook, and he's stirring it up because you know how honest he is. He makes an opinion out there, and they go, WTF are you talking about? And I'm on there, and there's 300 of them doing it. Then there's 500. I don't want this smartphone blown up. But that's my story.
But hey, Pitt is it. I got on Pitt last week.
I knew they'd lose.
Listen, you know, Pitt beat Austin P. He ran up the score on Austin P. And now all week they was complaining that they didn't break the top 20. You know, they deserve to be in the top 20.
They were 24.
Listen, you got to play every game like it's your last. This is football. It's a game of momentum. I watched most of that game, and I tell you what, North Carolina State was up 17-7. They intercepted a pass and took it all the way to the house.
Yeah.
But they said they roughed the quarterback. Pitt was so desperate, the quarterback was down for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He helmet to helmet, he got hit.
Yeah.
He goes out for one play and come back in. Now, he played a super game, but they don't care about the kids. You take the guy out for one game, one play.
Yeah.
It was a helmet to helmet hit that put him out for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Took him 5 minutes to get off the field.
Oh, did they check them, Smoking Jim? Like if they checked you, they'd keep you in the blue tent. They checked him, sent him right out.
Send him right out.
Yeah, because they checked him.
Yeah.
That's why it took 5 minutes.
Yeah. Get back in there.
Yeah.
But hey, what's on my mind is Mika Fitzpatrick.
Oh.
I said last year I didn't like trading the first round draft pick. Only reason the Pittsburgh Steelers did it because they've been so horrible in drafting. But Mika Fitzpatrick.
According to you.
I've never seen they haven't drafted a good defensive back in who knows how long. They've been terrible at drafting defensive backs.
Okay.
Listen, Mika Fitzpatrick is a freak of nature, but I've never seen a veteran safety be invisible for 3 games like this. The guy's 6'1", 210 pounds. He's fast.
Yeah.
He's agile, but every other year it seems like he takes that year off. They're good as a rookie for Miami.
Yeah.
His second year, he was begging for a trade because they had him playing out of position.
Yeah.
His last year at Alabama, he only had 1 interception, still made All-American. I don't know how you do that. Last year for the Steelers, he was great, first-team Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Invisible the last 3 games. I've never seen anybody that talented that's invisible. Now, you look at some of the great Steelers safeties over the years.
Mention a few.
You've never seen them invisible. Troy Polamalu, Hall of Famer Donnie Shell, Ryan Clark always had a big hit here or there.
And then he got on the ESPN because he wouldn't shut up.
He wouldn't shut up. Look at Mike Wagner, who had almost a Hall of Fame career, arguably a Hall of Fame.
He could be.
Rod Woodson, Cornell Lake. Although Cornell Lake couldn't intercept the ball, he was all over the field. Mel Blount, Piney Edwards, Jack Butler, Thomas Everett. You never seen a veteran safety be invisible for 3 games.
Right.
Mika Fitzpatrick in the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, in my opinion, very invisible first 3 games. And that's what's on my mind.
Thank you, Smoking Jim. That Tony from Chick-fil-A just sent me a message. And he goes, Pitt lost because they did not have a black holder for punts and kicks. LOL. I told him, Tony.
That was a good one.
and last week, I didn't see his message because, I looked at it while we were talking a couple times. And he left a message. He goes, who would Smoking Jim like to watch box, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson? I said, that's a tough one for him. I said, because he thinks he looks like Muhammad Ali. And that was when he was wearing sunglasses. And I told him, no, you don't have a chance of looking like him. Who would you watch? Tell Tony right now.
Tony, I watch boxing for one reason and one reason only. To see somebody get knocked out. It could be my best friend. I don't care. I want to see a knockout. So it got to be Iron Mike Tyson. I want to see knockouts.
Understand. How about Ali when he was young?
Well, he still wasn't a knockout artist, but he was pretty. He could dance, and he could talk. He was the entertainment.
Yeah.
But Mike Tyson, he gets you out of there in one round, man. I like that.
So he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
He didn't have the size, though.
Huh?
He was a short fighter.
Yeah, he was short, but
he was powerful.
He stood tall in prison. They didn't mess with him on an A block. You know it.
No, I don't know it. I don't know about that stuff. I don't know who your contacts are.
But look what I got here. I might get one for everybody. It's a sports notebook. I may pick one up for some Sportsline. Isn't that great?
What'd you pay for it?
This is the Pittsburgh.
What'd you pay for it?
I got this for $1. I got it at the dollar store. I'm gonna see if they have some more left. Machine, the dollar's on me. I like that, man.
Hey,
they got the pick colors.
Here's all I got.
This is the official Pittsburgh Sportsline notebook.
Here's what I have. Here's my notebook. Loose leaf papers. That's all I got. Loose leaf papers. Look at that. I need a notebook. Where are you at? Whoa, look whose photo showed up.
Yeah, the Hall of Famer.
Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Famer, Sarah.
And the City League Hall of Fame.
Sarah Werner. Great guest on our show.
And does a great thing for the post office.
Yes.
My mail been getting there quick ever since she got promoted.
Well, you don't even tell people where you live or whatever else. So.
I got a P.O. box.
Look, I dug deep. Look at this guy. Do you know this guy?
No.
We'll get Special K here. Give us a little, one of the best fighters here.
You know all them black guys look alike. Give us a hint, man. What do you mean? Give us a hint. Who could that be?
There's the name.
Oh, Keontae Irving. Okay, now.
He can read. Great fighter. Great local fighter. Can't wait till boxing is back.
You just can't put a black man up there and anonymously say who he looked like. He looked like about 500 other brothers. Narrow it down, man.
Smoking Jim.
You know it.
Thank you for what's on your mind. I think I can get to mine now. I thought you stole my story on Pitt because I watched the game. I struggled to watch the whole game because I go, Pitt didn't show up. Like, I've never been a fan of Narduzzi.
Right.
I think he's a very arrogant guy, and he thinks everything he says is the truth, like some other people I know. But I look at results, and he hasn't really been that good as a head coach. Now, this year I had high hopes for him, starting 3-0 against Little Sisters of the Poor and all these others. I mean, that's what you got to beat, the ones you're supposed to. Now we get North Carolina. Everybody else picked Pitt to win, and I saw a team that didn't show up.
Yep.
And as you know, one of your best friends with the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, he's known as a slow starter.
Yeah.
So to me, even though he's a great motivational guy, says these one-liners that don't mean anything to anybody in the media, and they get all over, let the rubber meet the road, all this other stuff, and the next man will stand up, Well, we all know that. He didn't tell us what happened this week in sports. And he begrudgingly tells us when somebody's sick, and he doesn't tell you truly what's wrong with them or injured. But that's natural. But Narduzzi has been weak with getting a team going. And then I don't see him change up game plans when something's not working. And you got a good quarterback. He's a 4-year starter. He did well last year, over 3,000 yards, and he shows some great things. But I didn't see him throughout the game. And he was just off a little bit, which in sports, being off like that means they're not catching the ball.
That's right.
And then they're not running the ball. So in the defense, we had one of the best defenses in the country. And where did they go? And then I see a coach on the sideline yelling at people. but I don't see any change in what was going on. So I think they're like me. They don't believe him. and it showed up on the field. It was a very tough game to watch. And when he did get knocked out, with that late hit, I didn't think he'd be back. I thought he wouldn't come back. Right. 5 minutes later, he was back in the game, playing the same way. So they just had a bad game, and it's sorry that they did because they could have been 4-0.
Yeah.
And they should have been.
Yep.
Because North Carolina wasn't that good of a team. They really weren't.
Right, you're right.
They took advantage of a team not showing up. So that's my observation of it. We're going to come back with some fiction and fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. I miss my main man, Chip Hayner. He's not here today.
Business was overwhelming.
He misses a lot, though.
It's booming. Business is booming.
Always good to see Special K and my main man, Anthony, whose hair is never out of place on the ones and twos, making us look good. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, it's a sad day for me. Eddie Van Halen passed away.
Oh, me too. I loved him. He was great.
I don't know if I ever seen him in concert.
You did. You did. No offense, but he was a white guy and he didn't sing country.
That's my favorite.
We all
now,
know you like
music.
country. I never heard you jam in the country, but I understand.
But if everybody could say a prayer for the Van Halen, when they hit their knees tonight, the Van Halen family, say a prayer not only for our president, but everybody with COVID. Say a prayer for that.
I'm praying for everybody that doesn't believe it's real.
Well,
that should cover everybody.
The President of the United States, President Trump, was perfectly healthy till he went to Cleveland. They get to Cleveland, now the whole White House got COVID. They had to quarantine Cleveland. but hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, I'll tell you what, speaking of Cleveland, I ain't gonna let you in. That's why Chip's off tonight.
Why?
I was a year off on my brownies.
I don't even want to hear about
3-1, they're looking good. Al Levine, the talking machine, took it to Dallas, at Dallas. I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, I think the rivalry is back. You know, in 1970 with the merger, the Pittsburgh Steelers was asked to go to the AFL.
Yeah.
Mr. Rooney, the chief, said, we will not go, because everybody thought their rivalry was Philadelphia. That was never our rivalry.
Right.
Our rivalry was Cleveland. He said, we won't go, let's Cleveland go.
Right.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland went to the AFC. The rest is history. You throw the records out, even when Jimmy Brown was here.
Yeah.
The Steelers lost all the time, but they always gave Cleveland in a great way. My dad, now you met my cousin from Cleveland, Billy Hester.
Nice guy.
My dad, even though me and my dad had season tickets here to the Steelers since I was 4, he had them a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't take me to Cleveland.
Why?
Him, my mom, and his best friend and his wife would go to Cleveland. But they wouldn't drive. They would stay at my aunt's house, Billy's mother, and they would take the train to the game.
Wow.
Because if they seen Pennsylvania plates, you had 4 flat tires, maybe your car was messed up, and Daddy always drove them Cadillacs. He wasn't going to have that, so he would catch the train. And it was the same way here. It was a rivalry.
Yeah.
It ended when the Cleveland Browns went to Baltimore.
Yeah.
But the rivalry is back.
I don't know.
You know, what an offense Cleveland got. And the defensive MVP is probably not going to be T.J. Watt. It's got to be Myles Garrett.
The liar.
Myles Garrett.
The liar.
Well, he's an honest. You can't play that well being that honest.
Well, he's a liar.
But I think Mason Rudolph ain't the first to say that word.
Well,
let me clarify. But he learned from his mistakes.
Let me clarify, since you brought the race card out. There were referees right next to Rudolph. There were Cleveland Browns right next to him. Not one player or referee that wasn't a Steeler heard Rudolph say the N-word?
He was laying on top of him. They was on top.
The referee was right there.
No, he was standing up.
The Browns were right there.
They was spooning. They was spooning. There wasn't no referee down there for that.
I'll pull my lawyer hat on. As you can tell, gentlemen and ladies, when the guy makes up excuses, obviously it didn't happen.
We can agree to disagree.
I can't.
It
didn't happen.
You and the Steelers say he didn't say it. Myles Garrett, who never told a lie before in his life, and the Cleveland Browns say he did say it.
Yes, he did.
And Myles Garrett is playing. He's the highest paid defensive player in football, and he's playing lights out.
Well, for a liar, I have to give you credit. He does play well. He got like 3 strip sacks, fumbles. This year, he's leading the league.
And I tell you what.
But he's a liar.
You have to agree with this.
He's a liar.
Whether it was said or not, because of it.
No, he's a liar.
Because of it, the rivalry is back. Don't you agree?
No, the only way there'll be a rivalry is if they play well.
They beat the Steelers last year, didn't they?
Well, there's my argument. If they beat them again, then we'll see what happens.
They're 3-1.
So what? We'll see.
In 2 weeks. 5,000 fans will get to see Cleveland and Pittsburgh
We'll talk about that on the Steelers segment.
And that's it, brother. The Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers rivalry is back. 2 of the best teams in football.
That rivalry is not even close to Ravens-Steelers. That's the best in the NFL.
You seen Baker Mayfield's commercials? He's taking care of his house. Good leader.
Let me explain something to Innocent Jim. He's getting paid to say that. Just like when a guy was doing commercials that business is booming.
Right.
The guy that was getting paid to say that is no longer with us because the money's gone and he has a 2-cent brain.
That's sad. It's sad. You're
right. Well, I predicted it.
You did.
Said it would happen.
Breaks my heart.
But thank you for that, Smokin' Jim. On location. Smokin' Jim, we got a big show on the 17th of October, 2 o'clock Saturday, October 17th. Same day as the library thing. You don't have to go to ours. It's going to be social distancing. We got a North Carolina team at Zhang Taekwondo out in Wexford. Great place there. Trophies like you can't believe. Master Zhang runs a great dojo up there, does great things. These guys and his guys, they're going to fight Pittsburgh, North Carolina against Pittsburgh. 4 fights. I think it'll be 5 rounds, 3 minutes each. So they'll be doing it in front of us. We'll bring Steve, our cameraman, out there, and we'll film that show. And it should be a great show. They're going to bring a Marine who's bringing his truck, and somebody's going to sing a national anthem. We showed the truck a couple weeks with Caitlin, did a great job on that little phone picture. And we're going to have some fun. They're excited to have us up there and can't wait to get us back up there. It'll be a pleasure to do a show with people. We'll be wearing our masks and practicing social distancing when we do interviews. When they're fighting, I said they don't need masks. They'll be about 30 feet away. So if they can play in football and spit and gouge each other's eyes out and stuff like that, we can have the jiu-jitsu guys work each other over. So we're going to have some fun there. If you can think of any places where we could go and do a show, we charge a small fee. We'd love to do it. And we're hopeful for the future with doing some shows on location. So this will be our next one coming, or our first one coming up since March. So I'm excited about it. It should be a great day. Wait do you see when we post it up on Facebook? I'll have some great pictures, and the video will be great. So check that out. We're going to come back, and we're going to do some Steeler talk. We're back. Some Steeler talk. What a disappointment with the Titans getting COVID. Smokin' Jim said it's an essential sport. They'll never get COVID. Chip and I said, like baseball, they'll get COVID. Smokin' Jim argued with us all day long. not only 1, 2, up to 18 Titans got COVID. So for some unknown reason, they didn't play the game. Like, first of all, I thought there should be quarantine because they were all exposed. But then I heard if you test 2 negatives in 3 days, you can come back. So I thought, okay, leave the 18 guys out, put them on IR, play the game. They postponed it, then they canceled it. Now it'll be October 25th, and then they'll delay the Steelers-Ravens game till the next week. So I'm excited about that, and we'll see what happens. But, with the Steelers, Governor Wolf, with all his wisdom, he shut down everybody, and other stadiums I've heard are allowed 20% in, 22%. I heard we're allowed 5,500 people that are season ticket holders who didn't cancel out for this year for some unknown reason. So I don't know who wouldn't have canceled out when they heard there's no fans allowed. So they're going to give them the first option to go to the game. And they'll be practicing social distancing and masks. So we'll see what happens with that.
Well, I know a lot of people that own their own business.
Yeah.
I got quite a few brothers that are full-time scalpers. They said the ticket price on scalp is over $1,000, man. They said they're going to make so much money Sunday.
Right.
Because they're going to buy cheap and they're going to sell for whatever they can get, $1,000, $2,000, man. They're going to make it back, man. What a great business. Tax-free. All you got to do is get a little cardboard, 2 together. But
isn't it illegal to scalp tickets?
Huh?
Isn't it illegal? It's against the law.
It's illegal to scalp illegal tickets.
What does that mean?
They do that because now they scan them. So it's almost like counterfeit money. You gotta have a right ticket, man. You gotta have the right ticket.
Okay.
They say it's illegal. It's harmless. It's harmless. It's like selling bottled water on the side of the road, man.
Well, Smoking Jim, I know we have a family show, but prostitution's illegal too. People get arrested for it.
Since when? I didn't know that. I always learn something new every time I talk to you, Rashid.
I'm just saying, buddy. What do I know?
But I tell you what, the NFL, these guys are fit. I don't know anybody that got COVID. I don't even believe the president has it.
No, I understand. That's why I texted you that.
Yeah.
Because I knew you wouldn't believe it.
But he's Superman. You see, after a day or two, he's riding around waving to the...
I have to go back. Let me do one of my disclaimers. We talked with Caitlin about it before, that if somebody tells you they're an honest man, a red flag goes off, especially if you're a woman. It goes off twice as loud. For me, I worked with a lot of people that told me they were the greatest, the smartest, and I started talking to them, and I didn't understand what they were talking about. And they were speaking all kind of different nonsense, just like my friend here. When you hear a guy tell you everything's a hoax, I'm the greatest, done the greatest ever, greatest economy, greatest this, greatest that, and then you look at something called facts, it's not true. It's not true. That's how simple it is. You got to look at the results. Like, you're a stat man in football. You go to see certain kids at colleges, and you go, wait, who's this kid they didn't even talk about?
Right.
Now, why would you notice that?
Good point.
Because you got an eye.
Right.
So if it doesn't pass the eye test, like I explained to Caitlin and others, like my 3 sisters, my daughter, then something's wrong. Mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you, you can tell me whatever you want, and I hear you loud and clear, but there's something wrong.
Well, I tell you
so
what.
We can go from there, buddy. Sorry to interrupt you.
18 Tennessee Titans tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Guess how many's testing positive now?
0.
0. They're fit.
Yeah,
They're fit.
Here's
They're
what you don't understand. And I know this is complex.
It's the flu season.
The flu has only killed 22,000. I don't want to insult your intelligence, but 211,000 people died in 8 months. So that's almost 10 times as much as the flu has killed. So even if you don't believe in it, it could be 10 times worse than the flu. So, I mean, those are facts. Eye test, you're dead.
How can I believe in something and I don't know anybody who's ever had it?
Well, there's
Do you know anybody that died
here,
of the flu?
there's 330 million people in America. How many do you know?
Not that many.
Okay, do you know the rest of them live out there in America?
Yeah.
You don't believe it, though. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, I mean,
If you don't believe what's happening each day, and there's 330 million people out there, and you don't know them, they don't exist. That's what logic you're telling me
good point.
about not knowing COVID and deaths.
Good point.
But I've known dozens of people that have died and have family members that are sick with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could it be the bird flu coming back?
No.
I mean, that was...
Again, when you hear excuses, you're falling in a trap. I'm trying to work with you, buddy. I'm working with you. Here's the question I have, since we're off the Steelers a little bit. How can you have Cam Newton has COVID, and then you have one guy on the Patriots or something sick with it, and you play a game? Now, I thought if you've been exposed to a person with COVID, you have to quarantine for 10 days. How did they get to play a game Monday night?
Because they got a medical staff. They test every day. They got him. They removed him. Evidently, he wandered somewhere he ain't had no business doing.
Well,
you know Cam was going to do it. You know Cam was wandering.
He was the only one
yeah,
on the Patriots.
He wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. You know it.
Then what gets me is on Kansas City, there was one guy, I don't know, I think even on the practice squad that got it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. One guy on Kansas City. So one on each team, and they played, but I thought you had a quarantine. Like if you're in a room with people that don't have masks, this gets sprayed, they call it an aerosol effect.
So they say.
No, they proved it. They don't say it. They have like documentation, like you say. They say and back it up. You have nothing backing it up except that O word, that opinion. And we're not trying to be political. This is affecting sports in our lives. We're all about the sports, and we're trying to stay positive. I can't agree to disagree with him because he can't show me any facts. He just gives me guys' opinions, so I got to just disagree completely. But we're still friends. Like I can disagree with you. Families, don't your families argue once in a while? Doesn't mean you hate him. I don't hate him because he's wrong, in my opinion.
Well, you look at how big the National Football League is.
Okay.
Nobody's testing positive because they got the doctor. They're getting tested every day.
How
they
about
got the best medical staff.
Let me explain something to you. There's these instant tests.
Yeah.
And they're finding the rate that they're showing false negatives, 15 to 50% of them are false.
Where are you reading that at?
These are like institutions, scientific things, doctors, that they say when they're doing contact tracing, you need a more reliable test that takes a day or two to get the results because they test it differently.
I need to be entertained.
If they're just pulling your antibodies out of you, sticking you in the nose, it doesn't always work. They need to get the deeper test. Because how could the greatest place in the world that's the safest place be a hot spot for COVID now? Do you know where it is?
New York?
No, the White House.
Because everybody was in Cleveland. They brought it back from Cleveland.
My man, you don't watch anything politically except whatever you're...
I watched some of the debate. I watched some of the debate.
You did not. What part? The commercials. Here's where some of it spread from. I know you won't believe it, but you didn't know about it. They did a Rose Garden event trying to put a lady judge in for the Supreme Court.
Did they put her in?
No, listen to what happened. That's where the outbreak started. There's like 20 people that are sick because they were hugging, they were talking to each other, close talking, doing all these things at the Rose Garden at the White House. That's where it came from.
Came from Cleveland.
No, it did not. Another thing, here's what's funny. They're saying, how could all these Republicans get sick? Well, they showed the debate, and Melanie Trump and all the rest, all the Trumpers didn't have a mask on at Cleveland. Guess what the Cleveland Clinic was trying to do? They have rules. Here, do you want a mask? They all said no. They go, he'll yell at us if we take a mask. None of them wore a mask. So they spread it all among themselves.
Would you trust the clinic?
Yes. I trust the doctor. Look, I'm alive because I trusted my doctor. You don't go to the doctor. You were walking, never mind about you walking. Oh, man. There has to be the truth, not just your opinion. All right? I know you've grown up being opinionated adults.
You didn't hear that it happened in Cleveland? You
No,
never heard that?
This is the first I heard it.
Well, see, I got a chance to teach you something.
Guess what I learned? Nothing. I learned nothing. Well, what are the Steelers going to do this week coming up against the Eagles?
Well, I tell you what, the Eagles are playing a lot better. They're in first place with a 1-2-1 record.
That's what I'm getting at. And look at the football team. They're 1-3. And look at Dallas, who has one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in football.
Yeah.
They're 1-3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's insane. And then what are the Eagles?
1-2-1.
Yeah. So, I mean, that isn't good.
Yeah.
We'd be going crazy in Pittsburgh if that happened to us.
Well, the one great thing about I've never seen a softer schedule. You couldn't ask for a better schedule for the first 4 games than what the Steelers have been getting.
Yeah.
You know, all teams that can't win find a way to lose.
Right.
You know, Philadelphia for a while they looked like they wanted to replace their quarterback. But he snapped back.
He's always getting hurt, too. He's a brittle brother on the white side.
Yes, he is. He even got hurt in college a lot.
Right.
So,
but when he's on, he's good. He looked good the other night.
But I tell you what, they got a great running back, Miles Sanders from Woodland Hills High School. Watched him play.
And didn't he go to Penn State?
He went to Penn State. Played
he backed up Saquon Barkley.
And then when Barkley left, he was the man.
Yeah.
Ran wild, ended up being a second-round draft choice to Philadelphia. Doing very, very well. When he was in high school, had him on one of the shows we do with Luther Dupree. One of the high school kids. He came in, spoke very well, and but it was so funny because I warned him because Pitt wanted him. He'd have started as a true freshman for Pitt. Nobody heard of Saquon Barkley but me.
Yeah.
When he said he was thinking about going to Penn State, I'm like, you know, they got the best freshman running back in the country, Saquon Barkley. He didn't know who it was.
Right.
Well, the world knew in about 2 months
right.
who Saquon was, but so he had to back him up, and he never set the bench before. He's a 4-year starter in high school, probably the greatest running back ever at Woodland Hills, and they had some great running backs over the years, you know.
I know.
And
I know that.
Because when you merge a school with 7 different ghettos, you know you got some guys that can run, man.
Sure. Sure.
That shouldn't even have been fair. 7 high schools merge into one. Then they try to go up against Gateway, but it didn't work. Gateway held their own with one school district.
I got to just make a note. That's the first time Gateway's been mentioned. We didn't hear any players of the week. We didn't hear any schools of the week. It's high school football. What the heck happened? We're like 45 minutes into the show, 50 minutes of the show. How did that happen? You didn't start out with any of that. What happened? You weren't following the high school games. You didn't get to see all those stats. No, but it's going to be tough because you don't know whether the Eagles are going to be on their A game or what they've done most of the year.
Yeah, yeah. And they're on paper, they got an outstanding defense.
Yeah.
And they got a few receivers that are out, that are hurt. But the Pittsburgh Steelers can't stop the pass no matter who the receivers are. So
right.
Very disappointed. Mika Fitzpatrick in that secondary is not stepping up.
Well, you said he's taking the year off,
yeah,
which he
like
does.
He's taking the year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he come out this week and say he want to be traded again because he's not playing the right position.
He got the money in his pocket now.
Huh?
He got that money.
Yeah.
Money helps. That cures a lot of those things.
That's true.
He wanted that money, too.
True. And, you know, I got on him this summer because he was whining that he didn't get voted one of the top 100 football players. I'm like, don't worry about that. That don't have nothing to do. There's people that's voting on that ain't got, just play the game.
Look at your man Cam Hayward. You told him to shut up and you shouldn't even deserve it.
Yeah.
And they signed him for millions of dollars. 5 years.
Another Pittsburgh Steelers mistake.
5 years.
Should have signed Bud Dupree.
They're probably not.
Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt are your futures.
Yeah, if we can hold on.
Bud Dupree did, you know the model Aston, she's also a ring car girl?
Yeah.
They did a commercial together for a car dealership in the Beaver Valley.
Nice.
So Bud Dupree's getting out there.
Don't bring up him. First 5 years. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd the runner go? Right in front of him. He never moved over one step. Now all of a sudden he found out who has the ball. They must have got him some contact lenses.
Well, they got Joey Porter out of there. You got a real coach in there.
He told him, find the ball. Because obviously Porter didn't tell him you got to find the ball.
That's
just
true.
hit somebody.
That's true.
He told him to hit somebody. He kept looking for somebody. Now he's like a superstar. Even announcers on TV, they go, what a play by Dupree. They never said that.
Somebody, one of the ex-Steelers told a story one time about Joey had a beef with some guy in the National Football League. So they're in Vegas gambling in Vegas, and Joey Porter sees the guy and jumps on him in the casino in Vegas. You know, Joey was crazy, man. Remember he wanted to fight Ray Lewis at the bus? Yeah.
What about before games? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going after everybody.
Cleveland, he got kicked out. That's how James Harrison got discovered. Joey got kicked out of the game for beating up a running back.
Well,
at the
Harrison
50-yard
told him,
line.
go get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, go get him, big dog.
And Harrison went from being cut all the time. They're like, wow, this guy can really play. And remember, Joey got shot in the butt in Denver.
Yeah.
At a nightclub.
He was innocent.
Probably the same nightclub Cam Newton was at to get COVID.
You know what he told the police? I'm an honest man. That's why I remember that.
But the one good thing, Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
Anybody else would have put him on injury reserve. Joey begged Coach Cowher not to put him on injury reserve. They carried him all season long. Right. Because of that, and he did come back towards the end of the season.
Sure. He knew.
You don't need two butt cheeks to play.
My man, if the one's bleeding, you can't run.
But you know, Coach Cowher.
Yeah.
What a guy that, if anybody deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, you know.
I only have one question. With some of the talent, why didn't you win more?
Well,
I know he didn't get a great quarterback till the end of his career.
Yeah, and he stepped away to take care of his wife who was dying of cancer. How many people
So they
do
say.
that?
So they say. There were other rumors at the same time. I don't want to get into that because I can't verify it, even though a couple people told me what they were and who it was and all that other stuff. No. So the Steelers can beat the Eagles?
Steelers should beat the Eagles, and then they got to play the rivals, but they get them at home, Cleveland. Yeah. So if they beat Cleveland, they'd be 5-0, man.
You think it could happen?
It should happen. They should definitely be 4-0. Yeah. You know, Philadelphia ain't got no business beating Pittsburgh. They've been off for 2 weeks. Right. You know what I mean? They should be preparing.
Yeah, but when they practice, they don't even hit much anymore.
No, they don't hit, but at least they get the rest up.
But that's the CBAs. They said that you got to rest so you don't get the CTE. Yeah. And that's why they can't tackle. And how about all the players that have gotten hurt this year?
I know. You see that. Most of them at a New York Stadium. Yeah. New York Giant and Jet Stadium.
They better redo the turf.
Yeah. Hey, how about Houston firing their general manager and head coach?
Well, it's the same guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He may have been a good coach at times, but I don't know about a GM with the players and stuff. So. Yeah. But, hey, they can't go that route with who they have on their team. They should be much better. Didn't they sign Watson for a lot of years? Yeah. And J.J. Watt? Yeah. J.J. Watt said we need some changes after the game, so I guess the money talks.
Well, he's all washed up now.
Well, that is it. Nobody warned us. Have a good night. Stay Joey strong.